Hello everyone, good morning and good evening. So we are super happy to welcome you all to our 6th session on Learning Table Series 2025 on Smart Visitor Management built for every industry. So to give a brief about Learning Table Series, it's a monthly webinar that happens during the first week Thursday of every month, and that spans around 45 minutes to an hour. So we follow a concept called 12 months and 12 industries. We take an industry every month, we delve into different use cases, business cases, and different scenarios across that industry, and we'll show how Creator can act as a solution to automate and streamline the business processes across this industry. So with that being said, for this month, we've taken Smart Visitor Management that is adopted across multiple industries. I'm Abhinaya Kannan. I'm from Zoho Creator training team, and I'll be the host for today's session. Before getting started off with this session, we've got few housekeeping rules. All the attendees will be on mute throughout the session. You can post your questions in the questions tab that is available on left-hand side of the panel. Our co-trainers will be answering them parallelly. A recording of this session will be sent across to all the attendees, so you don't need to worry about that. We would request you to participate in the polls and surveys that we would be initiating during or post the session. Your suggestions and feedbacks are very important to us in framing our upcoming session. So we'll kickstart our session with the agenda. We'll start off a session with Introduction to Zoho Creator and Application Development Lifecycle Management. And then we'll take you through the Smart Visitor Management. What is Smart Visitor Management and what are the benefits of using Smart Visitor Management and its industrial adoption. And then we'll take you through the process automation. So we've built Smart Visitor Management on top of Creator platform. So we'll discuss about what are the process automations that we've done within the application. And then we'll take you through the different application users, internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. And following that, we'll take you through the application process flow. And then we'll delve into the live demonstration. And following that, we'll take you through the extended use cases, and we'll also discuss about the AI enhancements in visitor management, and we'll wrap up the session with a summary. So I'll turn off my video for the better screen visibility, and then we'll get started with the introduction. So to those who are new to Zoho Creator is a low-code application development platform with which you can develop custom solutions for any industries or verticals with minimal or no coding. On the right-hand side, you can see that Creator can be built for a finance industry, manufacturing industry, logistics industry, healthcare, IT, education, professional services, and retail. So irrespective of the domain or vertical, you can build solutions within Creator for any industries. It does not just stop with the application development. We also have BI and Analytics Creator with which you can build intelligent dashboards, and we have Integration Creator with which you can integrate your applications with 900 plus data sources that are available. And then we have Business Process Automation Creator, which we also call it as Blueprint, with which you can automate your business processes. All these can be done in one unified platform, which is Creator. So what are the different application categories? You can use Creator as an internal tool. So within your organization, assume that you wanted to manage and track all your assets. So here, Zoho Creator can be used as an internal tool, and you can develop asset management solution and use it within your organization. Creator can be used as a portal-based solution. In case if you wanted the application access to be given to the external users, like the customers, vendors, it could be the candidates who are coming for the interview, or it could be any third-party service providers, or it could be volunteers. So if you wanted the application access or the portal access to be given to the external users, then you can use Creator as a portal-based solution. And the third type is a core system. So assume that you have a manufacturing company. And then if you wanted to build an end-to-end system for your manufacturing-based company, right from the sales operations to the procurement management, right to the delivery management or the dispatch management, you can have Creator as a core system within your organization. And then the fourth category is Zoho Creator as an extended Zoho or third-party services. Let's say you're using another Zoho service or a third-party service. And if you wanted to use Creator for a specific use cases, or if you wanted to integrate with another third-party service, then you can use Creator as extended Zoho or third-party solution. So these are the different categories with which you can build application using Creator platform. Now let's get into application development lifecycle management. So before building any application with any traditional development approach, the first part is the analysis of the requirement, right? Either you'll go to the client place or virtually you'll collect all the requirements. You will identify the gaps in the business processes. Where all does the process require automation, or where all does it require streamlining? You'll analyze all the requirements, and that is going to be the first step, right? Next is to set the framework. You're structuring the applications. So what are the list of modules that would be required, list of fields that would be required, how do you establish the data relationship, and you're structuring your application. Once the framework is all set, the next step is to build the application. So once you build the application, it'll go for a testing phase, and then you'll deploy the application to the production environment, and finally it'll be managed by your admin. So these are the different stages in the application development lifecycle management, and this is applicable for Zoho Creator platform as well. Now we'll get into Zoho Creator's Smart Visitor Management and what it is all about. So imagine a guest visiting your apartment or a workplace or a manufacturing facility. So when you take a traditional process, you will log everything manually, right from the name, time of entry of the visitor, purpose of the visit, or whom they're meeting. All these will be tracked manually. And then this manual tracking or manual method, you could even now see across the residential buildings or corporate offices, right? So this outdated approach comes with a lot of other challenges, right? When it is handwritten, there are a lot of possibilities that the data is misplaced. And also, the handwritten records will always be illegible sometimes. And then if you wanted to retrieve the historical data, it is going to be really time consuming. When you take the security aspect, there is no validation mechanism to confirm the authenticity of the details entered. So this makes any unauthorized individual can also gain access by providing the false information. So what if we are going to streamline all of this using a digital system? That's when we introduced Zoho Creator's Smart Visitor Management System to register, track, and manage the guests entering the facility. So with this, you can replace all the manual methods. You can do automated check-in, and you can, by using the QR code or OTP generation method, which in turn would definitely improve the visitor's experience and also ensures compliance, right? Now, let's look at the industrial adoption for visitors management. Take a corporate office. Assume that there is an interview taking place. There might be a lot of candidates coming in for the interview, and there are chances that the clients or the partners would come into the premises for the meeting, right? If you wanted to streamline these guests or the visitors checking in and enhance the workplace security, then you can go for the smart visitor management. So these are the other industries which would adopt the visitor management system. When you take manufacturing plant, any third-party service providers like contractors, vendors, delivery person would enter into the plant or the premises, right? And then when you take the educational institution, student might get into the institution to enroll for a course, or students' guardians would come into the institution for a meeting, or it could be a vendor or a guest lecture getting into the premises, right? When you take healthcare facilities, it could be the patient, visitors, vendors, and medical reps getting into the healthcare facility. And when you take government offices, if you wanted to ensure verified access and maintain visitors log for the accountability, then you go for the smart visitor management system. So these are the few industries which adopt to the visitors management system. Now we'll look at Zoho Creator's visitors visitor management system and what are the process automations that we've done. So on top of Creator, we've built this smart visitor management system. We've handled visitors onboarding process, as in when the visitor enters, the check-in will be done by the security person, and then all the visitor onboarding process is handled within the application. And we have a kiosk setup with which the visitors can check in. And then we're digitally managing the check-in and check-out process. As in when the visitor arrives, it'll be notified to the host instantly, right? And then we're handling the visitor's badge generation process with the time-stamped information. And we're also handling the pre-registration process. So host would send an invite, and then the invitation will be received by the visitor, and then they'll get into the premises. And we have the QR code system and also the OTP verification system with which the visitors can do the real-time registration. And next comes the entry approval workflow. So every time when the visitor sends a request, it will be approved either by the host or the receptionist. That is also handled within the application. And then if there is any client meeting or if the candidates are coming for the interview, Workspace booking is always required. So we've handled this, and the host will be booking and doing the cancellation for the Workspace. And we're also, maintaining the visitor history, and we're providing the real-time reports for the compliance and safety audits. And who are the app users? Now we'll have a look at the internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders. We have app admin, we have host, and the security, and the visitors. Now let's have a look at the roles that are handled by each of these users. When you take the internal app users, first we have the app admin. App admin would have the complete app access control, and the app admin would do all the configuration, and he adds the host and receptionist. So every organization would have a host. When you take an apartment, every flat owner would be considered as a host. They can send invite to the visitors who are coming to the apartment or who are visiting the flat, right? So here the admin would add the host and the receptionist. And next comes the host. Host will send invite to the visitors, approves the visitor's request, and then handles the workspace booking as well. As mentioned, in case of a space is required for attending the meeting, the workspace booking and cancellation is handled by the host. And third comes the receptionist or the security. So whenever the visitor gets into the premises, in front of the gate, there will be a receptionist or the security who would add the visitor's entry, handle the check-in and check-out processes, and in case if the host is not available, he'll handle the host's pending approval as well. So app admin, host, and receptionist are considered to be internal app users here, and we have external stakeholder who are visitors getting into the organization premises. So the visitors would receive the invite. They can do self-check-in and check-out using the kiosk setup. They can attend the meetings and interviews, and they can receive the digital pass. So now let's have a look at the application process flow. So we're going to discuss 3 different flows. The first flow is going to be visitor check-in using the QR code. Assume that we have an organization where the organization is going to conduct interviews for the candidates, right? So the organization employee or the HR would be the host here, right? And the candidates would be the visitors. So here the host would initially send an invite to the visitors. Once the invite is sent to the visitor's email ID, they'll receive a QR code within their email. And with this QR code, they'll enter into the gate or the premises, and then the host, the security who would be in front of the gate or the receptionist will scan the QR code that the visitor had received, will enter all other details. Most of the details will be populated. Security will enter all other details and submit the information. And the next step would be for the host to approve. Here the host would be the HR. Every time when the candidate is entering into the premises, once the QR code is scanned by the security and all the visitor details are entered, host would do the approval process, and then the candidate would have an interview or meeting with the host, and finally the visitor would check out once the process is completed, and next comes the exit. So this is the first flow, right? So this happens with approval. And now the next flow is visitor invite plus auto approval process. There is an option called auto approval. What happens when you enable this auto approval process? So the HR will send an invite to all the candidates. That is, the host will send invite to the visitor. They'll receive the QR code, and with the QR code, the visitor will enter the organization or the gate, and the security will scan the QR code, and without the host's approval, they can do the check-in for the visitor. So here, using the kiosk system or using the application directly, the security would do the visitor's check-in process, and then the meeting with host or the interview will happen, and finally the visitor or the candidate would check out, right? So this is with respect to auto approval. Only difference is that host would not approve the auto approval happens here. So host does not need to approve the transaction or the request. And the third one is the self check-in. Assume that there is an off-campus interview, and the candidates had gotten this information through some website, and they are getting into the premises or the organization for the interview, right? So when they are randomly getting in, the security will enter all the details of the visitor, and they'll do the check-in process, right? Once the interview is done, then the visitor will check out and the exit process will happen. So this we call it as a self-check-in process without sending the invitation or the pre-registration. Without any pre-registration, this we call it as a self-check-in process. Now we'll get into the live demonstration. So we saw 4 different app users, right? One is the app admin, another is a visitor, host, and the security. So I've logged in into 4 different profiles. One is the admin profile, where the admin will have complete access, app access and the control. And I've also logged in as a visitor. So now I'll get inside as a visitor. So this is the visitor's login. And we also have the security or the receptionist login. Now I'm logging, I've opened a profile where the receptionist or the security would get into their profile, right? Now I'll take you through the app admin login, and we'll look at the list of modules that are available. So first comes the dashboard. Within the dashboard, the app admin would get to see the total number of visitors who had visited today and the expected visitors in case if any pre-registration had happened, or if the host had already sent invite to the visitor, then it would come under this expected visitors list. And there are 8 overstayed. We have overstayed visitors, which will be calculated using the check-in and check-out. If the user had not or the visitor had not checked out for the entire day and it extends to the next day, then we call it as a overstayed visitor. And we also have the total number of visitors being captured. And here we have the visitor stats. So we have different types of visitors like contractors, the one who comes for the interview, the candidates who comes for the interview, and the delivery person. So on each day, what is the proportion? How many number of contractors do we have who visited on 30th May? How many number of candidates who had come for the interview? So all these are represented using the bar chart and also the pie chart, right? And we also have the expected visitors. As mentioned, when the pre-registration happens, then those users would fall under this expected visitors list. And we have checked in visitors who had already checked in into the premises, and this would show all the checked in visitors list. In case if the admin or the host wants to approve all the transactions or the request directly from the dashboard, we have an option to approve it from the dashboard. So these are the list of options that are available within the dashboard. Now comes the configuration. So the first step is the onboarding process, and we'll have to enter the company details. I'll get into edit mode, and we have given the company name, industry, company email, business country, location, phone number, and also the company's logo. So once all the details are being given, the next is the kiosk setup authentication process. So what is the preferred authentication? Whenever the host is sending an invite, how do you want the visitor to receive what type of authentication do you want the visitors to receive? Is it in the form of QR code or is it in the form of OTP? You can mention the type. Now we've given QR code generation and we have mentioned the QR code API as well. And next comes the location. So organization would have been distributed across multiple locations. You can have all the location along with the address details added here. And along with the location, you can have all the department details added in the master form, like admin, support, HR, and software development. And these are the list of designations within the organization. And every organization would have multiple entry points, which we call it as gate, right? So for this organization, we have given main gate, Lakeview gate, and the plaza gate. So the visitor might enter through any one of these gates. And we are adding all the list of users within this all users master form. And we have the list of categories. So before explaining about this categories, which is electronics and furnitures, I was explaining about the workspace, right? So the host is eligible for booking the workspace whenever the candidate is coming for the interview or whenever you have a partner or client meeting. There should be a workspace that is needed to conduct the meeting, right? So you can have all these workspaces added based on the location. When you get into the master form, you're giving the space name, you're choosing the location and what is the capacity of that particular space, and you're adding image of the space, right? And with each workspace, you can add the resources. What is the resource name? Is it a furniture or is it an electronic? And here comes the category. So we've added all of the categories in this categories master form. Is it an electronic or a furniture? And under electronics, you've given the resource name and you've mentioned the location to be Chennai. You can have the image added and you can specify the quantity. So apart from that, in case if you have any terms and conditions that is specific to your organization, or if you have any legal documents, so you can have those documents uploaded into this all documents, right? Next, we'll discuss about other master forms that are available. So before that, we have this host, receptionist, visitors, right? 3 different types of user. Now, what I'll be doing is, I'm getting into edit mode of the application and I've gotten into the settings. Now, within the settings, we have different set of permissions created for this application. One is as an admin, another is a host permission, another is for the kiosk setup, and the 4th one is a receptionist, right? So these are the list of permissions sets and that we have created, and we are going to assign users for each of these permissions, right? We have already added users under host, under kiosk setup, receptionist, and as a developer, right? Now we'll start creating I'll take you through other master forms. Okay, so even though you've added all the user list, you can have the host details, receptionist and visitor details as a master form, and you'll have to add all of those details here and you'll have to map it with the portal, right? So here is where you can add the host with all the personal information like name, date of birth, address information, work information, and the host ID would be generated automatically. So either you can enable the portal access from here. So there is a workflow which will get triggered, as in when you enable the portal access, an entry would get generated within the user profile, or you can have the users added there and you can have it mapped here as well, right? So we've added the list of host and we have the receptionist list. Who are the list of receptionists? All these information will be added by the app admin. You can add personal information, photo, personal email, address details, date of birth, mobile number, gender, and the receptionist or the security will also be allotted a number. And we also have this enable portal access here. You can have the portal access enabled directly from here. And we have the visitors. So the list of visitors would be added by the host, right? We have all the visitors list here. To whom all have we sent the invite? Who all had overstayed? So what is the purpose? What is the visitor type? I'll take you through the master form as well, and total number of visitors. Now over the top, we have a custom action button to add the visitors list. Here, you're adding the type of visitor, which is a drop down. You can have the list added, like we have visitors, contractors, interview, candidates who had come for interview, delivery person. You can specify the visitors type, and you can also have the visitors list added. As in when you add the visitors list, it will get populated here. Or if you directly wanted to add a new visitor, we also have option to add the new visitor here, right? And all the gate details, through which gate is the visitor entering, Lakeview, main gate or plaza gate, and the host name, who is hosting the visitor, their name will get populated. So I'll make an entry and I'll show you how it can be handled using the kiosk setup as well. And we have the duration. Is the visitor going to stay for 30 minutes or 1 hour? You can mention the duration and the purpose of visit. So there is also other option. When you take manufacturing companies or logistic companies, you'll have all the vehicles entering into the plant or the factory, right? So you can have all those vehicle details tracked using this vehicle model and vehicle number. And in case if you're procuring something and the procurement raw materials are coming in, or if the candidate is bringing some baggages or devices, then you can have all those baggage and device details entered here. Apart from this, you can have the image of the candidate or image of the visitor along with the signature added. So you can agree to the terms and conditions. This terms and conditions, you can have it uploaded within the configuration under the documents. So once the visitor details are entered, then the next step would be to send the invite. So I'll explain about other modules as well, and I will take you through the process. So invitation can be sent by the host through this module. It will have all the visitor information, arrival time, who is the host, which location are they coming, visitor's name, is it a single invite or a bulk invite, purpose of visit, and we have this auto approval option. So this we saw as a second flow within the presentation, right? So either you can enable this auto approval option. If not enabled, it will go to the host for approval, or in case of the absence of the host, the security or the receptionist would approve. And you will have all the approval details, pending approval, the list of requests that are pending for approval, list of requests that are approved, and list of requests that are rejected. And here is where you book the workspace. So this will be handled by the host. In case of the candidate coming for interview, it will be the HR. What is the from date? What is the to date and time? And the spaces, the conference rooms will be loaded here. In case if you wanted any resources, you can have add all the resources and specify the quantity as well. And then comes the report. So we have the list of frequently visited users, and we have frequent host, blocked visitors, and who had visited daily visitor entry. We have weekly visitor entries, monthly visitor entries. All these are available as a report. And we also have the weekly attendance and also the monthly attendance, right? So these are the modules that are available within the visitor management system. Now we'll start off with the flow. The first step is the host inviting the visitor. So I'm getting into the host profile. This is the host profile, and we have dashboard, invite, approvals, and bookings. As mentioned, he can send the invite, he can handle the approvals, and he can do the workspace booking. So this is the dashboard that is available for the host, where he can see the total number of visitors who had visited today, expected number of visitors, overstayed visitors, total visitors, and the visitor type along with the upcoming bookings. In case if he had visited any visitors, all his visitors would be available here and his invites would also be available here, right? Now what we'll do is we'll do the host can also do the check-in directly from here, so that this will get captured within the attendance. You saw the weekly attendance and the monthly attendance, right? So this is based on the host checking in here. And first step is to send invite to the visitor. Now we'll send an invite. We're choosing interview, and we're choosing the date to be 5 and the time to be 12:34. And I'm choosing the location to be Chennai, and the purpose of a visit is going to be interview, right? And it is going to be a single invite. So we have Maria. We have chosen, this is a frequently visited person, so we've chosen this visitor name as Maria, and then we have chosen the duration as 1 hour. Candidate coming for interview. I'm not going to choose this auto approval process, so let me submit this information. And when you get into the approvals, or I'll take you to the receptionist login. So this is a receptionist login where you will get to see we have added an entry, right? So yet to visit. Maria, we have just sent an invite and the visitor is yet to visit the organization, right? So now we can handle the check-in process from here. We also have this approval process. Either the host can approve, or in case of the absence of the host, the receptionist or the security can also approve the request, right? Now I'm getting into the invite. So just give me a minute. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to cast my mobile phone, and I'll show you how the kiosk process is handled. So just give a couple of seconds. I'll mirror my mobile and then we'll start with the process. So I'll quickly change the network. Now I have my Zoho Creator application. I'll scan the QR code. So the casting is in process. Once it is connected, I'm going to start casting the tablet device that I have. So I've already logged into the Zoho Creator application as a host or as a security or the receptionist. So whenever the candidate comes in front of the gate, either the security or the receptionist would do the QR code scanning. Just give me a minute. I'll refresh this once again. So there are 3 options that you could see, right? So I'm within this visitor management system. I've logged in as a security who has that kiosk setup permission. So there are 3 options that you could see. Tap to scan the QR code, tap to self-check-in, and tap to checkout. So in case if the pre-registration has happened, the host has already sent the invite, the invitation would have been received by the visitor along with the QR code. So the security can scan the QR code and then do the check-in. Or in case if the candidate is coming randomly on seeing the off-campus interview updates, then they can do the tap to self-check-in process. And to check out the candidate, they can tap to use this checkout, right? Now, I'll get into the Gmail where we have received the QR code. So the QR code is already received. Now, I'm going to scan the QR code. I've scanned the QR code and you can see the visitor entry details, visitor type, visitor name, the gate. You can mention the gate, to which gate they've arrived. So I'm going to choose the gate as Lakeview Gate, and the host name has gotten loaded automatically. I'm going to specify the duration as 2 hours, and you can upload photo of the candidate. And you can add the signature as well. So in case if they have any vehicle, you can have the vehicle model entered, and also you can have the vehicle number entered. And if they have brought in any laptop or devices, you can have those details added. Now I'm agreeing to the terms and conditions, and you're submitting the information. Just go to the home page. You've successfully submitted all the information, right? Now we'll go back to the hostess login. Once a security enters the details, the next process is that the host has to do the approval, right? Now you can see that the approval would come for the host and also within the receptionist login. I'm getting into receptionist login. You can see that this entry is available both in the receptionist login and also the security hostess login. In case of hostess absence, the receptionist can also approve the transaction. Now I'll do the approval from hostess login, and I'm adding the comment as approved, right? So now the host has approved the transaction. We'll get into receptionist, and then we'll get into the visitors tab, and we have visitors, invites, overstayed visitors and total visitors. So now Maria has already checked in into the premises, right? If you wanted a visitor pass to be generated for Maria, you can have it generated, printed and given to the candidate, right? So name, photo, visitor's pass, visitor type, host, check-in time and the duration. All these will be printed in the digital pass, and this can be given to the candidate, right? Once the meeting or the interview is done, then you can have the receptionist or the security can check them out of the system, right? This can be handled via a kiosk system, and this can also be handled directly. Do you want the visitor to be checked out? I'm giving yes. Now the visitor is checked out, right? So now we have the total visitors. Today visitors is 1, expected visitors is again 1, overstayed visitors 8. And in case if you wanted to notify the overstayed visitor, you can notify them, and a mail will be sent to the email address. And here comes the total number of visitors, right? So this is one process. This is the first process. Now we'll get into the next process where we're going to handle the auto approval process, right? What we'll do is from the hostess login, invitation should be done. I'm going to send the invite as a contractor. Let me add them as a contractor, and the time is going to be 1. And I'm choosing the location as Chennai and the purpose of visit as delivering the raw material. And there are 2 types of invite. We have single invite and bulk invite. Let's say there are multiple people coming into the premises. So from a college, multiple candidates are coming for interview, multiple students are coming for interview. Then you can go with this bulk invite, add the visitor's name, arrival date and time, and also along with the notes, right? Now we'll choose the single invite. I've chosen the contractor and the arrival date and time. Purpose of visit, the visitor type, I'm choosing this particular email address, and it is I'm giving the duration to be 1 hour. So to deliver the raw material, and I'm going to give it as auto approval. The host already knows that the contractor is going to come in. So again, the next step of approval is not required, right? So previously an invitation was sent, right? Here, every time when the visitor is requesting, sending a request, the host will receive the notification, and you can see from the notification tab, right? Now we have sent an invite. I'm getting into the receptionist login, either using the kiosk setup or you can do this manually. So you can do the check-in process from here. You can choose the gate, purpose of visit. The vehicle is going to be tractor and the vehicle number is going to be this, and I'm giving the name as raw material, not applicable, and you're agreeing to the terms and conditions. Just click on create, upload the pic of the raw material, and then give the signature. So this person, contractor, had come to the premises. A visitor pass can be generated for them as well. And then once the work is done, once the raw material is delivered successfully, they can check out, and this can be done with the help of the receptionist, right? So here we're not going to do the approval process. The host is not going to approve the transaction. The receptionist had directly given the check-in, and checkout can also be given, right? So this is the second flow. Now the third flow is going to be the self check-in process. Now I'll also mirror the screen again. You can see that when the candidate or the delivery person or someone who's coming randomly to visit your organization, then the security would do the self check-in process. Visitor, are they a visitor, contractor, delivery person, or an interview? Who had come for the interview? I'm just giving it as a random visitor. And after checking with them who is the host, you can enter all the details. So get their email address or add their email address from here. You can, if it is a new email address, you can have it added. For now, I'm just giving the email address that is already there. Lakeview. Who's the host? I'm giving Samuel Daniel is the host, and duration is 1 hour. I'm giving the purpose is meeting with the doctor. A medical rep is getting in randomly and going to have a meeting with the doctor, and we're just giving a photo, and you can tap to sign in. If they have any vehicle, then you can add the vehicle details. Now I'm just giving agree to terms and conditions and submit the information. Now the self check-in is done. So here the pre-registration has not happened. Host has not invited, and the check-in has been handled directly by the receptionist, right? Once the purpose is done, I'll refresh the tab. So once the purpose of visit is done, then they can check out. Here the status is they've already checked in, right? So here comes the overstayed visitors and the total visitors. Now I'll take you to the hostess login, and we have 16 total approved requests, 0 rejected request, and there is no request for pending. And next comes so here is where you can see the invitation. So the status is already checked in, right? Next comes the booking. In case if you wanted to book a meeting room for the candidate who had checked in. So I'm from the host logged in named Kishore Krish, and from here I'm giving the check-in time, from time and the to time, date and time, and I'm going to choose the space. So this host is assigned the location Chennai. So based on the location, all the spaces are getting loaded. In case if you wanted any resource, you can add the resource. You wanted 3 additional chairs, right? And hit on this create. You'll have, a workspace booked, and the host can also cancel the space in case if the meeting is going to be cancelled, or if it is not required anymore, then the booking can be cancelled off using this cancel button, right? So when you get into the dashboard, visitors dashboard, you will get to see all the information. Now I'll just change back to. So we've been looking at the different types of users within the smart visitor management, and how the visitors experience can be made seamless by using the smart visitor management, and how are we tracking the visitors records within the application, right? Now I'll take you back to the presentation. Here comes the extended use cases. So what are the other industries where the smart visitor management would play a vital role? When you take real estate, you'll have the client visiting the property, or the vendor entering into the premises, right? So you can have all those client visits or the property viewers tracked using the smart visitor management. And I've also listed the other possible industries: IT park and tech hubs. In case if you wanted to manage large volume of guests coming in for the business visit, or when you take co-working space. So there will be users or visitors from multiple company who are booking for the spaces, right? In case if you wanted to manage those bookings and visitor access for multiple companies, you can make use of the visitor management system. And when you take hotel and hospitality, so when you take hotel, all the guests would be, checking in. And if you wanted to manage the service vendor access, or in case of event venues, if you wanted to manage all the attendees registration, or if you wanted to track entry during the events or expos, then this would give you a seamless experience even for the host and for the visitors. So these are a few of the key pointers to be noted whenever you're creating an application within Creator. This is with respect to the application components. When you work with form workflows are generally triggered when there is an activity on the form. And for the page components, they are generally used to visually represent data with various UI and UX customizations. With respect to report workflows are used for performing custom actions. So the approval, cancellation, booking, all those we call it as a custom action, which is handled using the report workflow. So users are generally considered to be internal users or developer who are given access to the application with a customized permission set. I was taking you through the settings process, how you create the permission and how you can assign it to the users, right? And the AI models can be used to analyze the input data and also to make the decisions and automate the actions. Now we will look into the AI enhancements. What are the different types of AI enhancements that can be handled within this smart visitor management? So we have all the visitors records, right? With the historical data, you can do a predictive analysis, foresee the peak visitors time just to optimize the staffing and security, right? And when you take smart pre-screening, you can use AI to scan the visitor credentials and documents for the compliance or risk. And if you wanted to optimize the meeting experience or meeting rooms and host based on the visitors' data, you can do an intelligent scheduling. And you can also analyze the frequent visitors and what are the purposes. You can see if there is any anomaly or any security threats based on the description or the purpose given. right? So these are the AI enhancements that can be handled within, the Smart Visitor Management System. So with this, we are coming to end of the session. To summarize what all we saw since the beginning, I was taking you through the Zoho Creator platform. So introduction to Zoho Creator platform and what are the application categories and how do you handle the application development lifecycle process. And then we took you through the Smart Visitors Management and why is it required, its industrial adoption across multiple industries, and what are the different use cases. We also took you through the live demonstration, the application process flow, different types of app users, internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders like host, security, app admin and visitors. And we took you through the extended use cases along with the AI enhancements, right? So with that being said, we're going to come to the end of the session. Now you can see how the Smart Visitor Management gives both the host and the visitors a seamless experience to track the check-in process or to check in and check out digitally, right? Okay, now comes the application DS part. If you're a partner and if you're looking to implement this application or the solution, then you can use this QR code, the short URL. This will be shared by our co-trainer as well. So you can fill out the form and mention all the details, the purpose, and then you will receive a response from the respective team. And if you're a customer or someone who wanted to have the app access, you wanted to make entries and see how the application works, then you can request for the same using the link mentioned here. I'll keep this open for a few seconds and then I'll move on to the next slide. And here comes the QR code. You can use the QR code to scan and fill out the form details. So we have upcoming sessions in Creator Tech Connect series and also Learning Table series. So Creator Tech Connect series is a technical series where we delve into the problem statements and technical nuances that can be handled within the Creator platform. We take different problem statements and will show how it can be handled within Zoho Creator application. So next session is on data relationship series, that is building data relationship using subform, and it's going to happen on June 12th, 11 a.m. IST time. It happens across 3 different time zones. You can scan this QR code to register for the session. And the next learning table series is going to be on logistics management. And this is scheduled to happen on July 3rd, 11 a.m. IST time. And this also happens across 3 different time zones. If you wanted to register for the session, a co-trainer would have posted the link in the chat. You can also have this QR code scanned to register for the session. For any further queries related to the application that we saw during the webinar, you can write to training@zohocreator.com. Thank you so much. Hope you found the session to be useful.